Hello everyone, it's Luli. Today I'd like to do a review video on Piofiore Faded Memories. I think quite a few people are wondering whether to buy it or not. It comes out in October, and I thought, you know what, I'll make a video where I can maybe explain what it's about so that it will help you if you're interested in buying it, and help you decide whether to buy it or not, because obviously it's quite a lot of money and you want to know what it's about and whether you might like it before you purchase it. I completely understand that. But anyway, I'll go through, a synopsis, a quick explanation of the characters, and maybe a general overview, and then sort of who I would and wouldn't recommend it to. So that's what I'll probably cover. Anyway, but before I start, I'd like to say I personally don't think any of what I'm about to say would be counted as spoilers, because they are kind of the information you probably get from the website anyway. But I do understand that some people don't even want to know about that, so I'm going to say that, if you're really sensitive, then maybe just stop here and then not watch it, because I don't want to ruin things if you're even affected by like a tiny bit of me explaining what a character looks like, or anything like that. But okay, let's start. So firstly, the synopsis. It's quite simple. It's based in Italy. There are 3 groups of mafia, because this game is literally all about mafias. And there's this girl who lives in a church, and she's very innocent. She believes in God and all this. But then she ends up getting involved with these 3 mafia groups, and things happen, and then you find out more and more about who she is, what the character's like, and mafia and all that. So that's the quick synopsis. So there's 5 characters. I played Dante, Nicola, Francesca, Yang, Orlok, and then Gilbert. So that's the order in which I played the characters, and I'll quickly go through each one now. So firstly, Dante. Dante is the boss of the Falzone group. Sorry about my English accent. If you're Italian, then go ahead and make fun of how I'm pronouncing all these names. Yeah, so Dante's the boss of Falzone, and I think he's a very cool and collected character. So I would say he's a very akudera character. So you've got this cool side of him where in front of the public eye he's very stern and smart about his decisions, but when the MC starts to get to know him, you see this sort of cute sides, and it's that gap that I think a lot of people appreciate when they play him. The second character is Nicola Francesca. He's a good friend of Dante's. He's also part of Falzone, and I would say he's more of a charming playboy kind of character. He has the element of being really good with women. So although I don't think he's really that interested in sort of deeply getting involved with someone. I think if you're into that sort of charming side with like the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and I think he's perfect, and I think a lot of Japanese people find him really attractive. So yeah. The third one I played was Yang, and I think it was quite good and refreshing because Yang is part of the Chinese mafia. So there's 2 Italian mafias, or 1 Chinese one, and he's in the Chinese mafia, which means the background and the atmosphere and the sub-characters that appear are very different from when you play Dante and Nicola. So it's good. I personally thought it was good to play him in the middle, because when you're kind of getting fed up of the whole Italian mafia thing, he's kind of like, so I would say it's a bit like, when you eat loads of crisps and then you're like, actually I want chocolate now. It's a bit like that. And he's very animalistic and dangerous, which I really like in characters, because you don't know what's going to happen next. Crazy things happen, you're like, whoa, what's going on? So that's why I really liked Yang, and I'd say he was my favourite character. The 4th one I played was Orlok. He is very cutesy, so compared to these fairly masculine, sort of, I don't know, very romancy, manly characters, I would say Orlok is a tiny bit more feminine. I saw him more like a pet in terms of his behaviour, and I think the thing about him is he's so innocent. I don't think he understands what it's like to like someone, so when you see the character development between him and the main character, it's really interesting because he almost feels confused, like he doesn't understand what's going on, and I think that's the really cute element about him. You're just sort of sitting there going, oh, I can't even express it in words. You have to play his route. But yeah, if you're into cute characters more than cool ones, then Orlok is definitely the one you will like. And then last but not least, the fifth one is Gilbert. He's what I consider like husband material. So he's reliable, so he's the type of man that men respect. He's like a born leader type of thing. He's charming, but not in like a ridiculous playboy kind of way. So you can tell that if he becomes serious with a girl, he will be definitely loyal type of thing. So he's kind of one of those all-round great characters that I think a lot of people end up liking. So that's Gilbert, I would say. Yeah. So those are the 5 quick descriptions of the characters. I will now move on to sort of like a general summary of how I felt like about the game. So I personally felt like it was a very action-packed but serious game. You didn't have that many comedy elements, and you know it is a mafia game, so you get a lot of sort of fighting and then bickering and sort of blood and gore, and it's not like a gore movie, or you know it's not like a Western extreme type of thing. But as far as Japanese sort of otome games go from Otomate, it was quite you know gruesome. So that's how I felt. It was very serious, not like you just enjoy the characters or you just have like a cute dating life or whatever. It's not like that. It was very, very serious and emotional moments, and you know I personally enjoyed it. But yeah, that's the summary of the game. Now, who would I recommend it to? I would recommend it to someone who likes action. Surprise, surprise. Likes mafia. If you like the kind of dangerous feel of, oh my gosh, I might die anytime, you know, any decision could lead to you dying, that sort of thing, then yeah, definitely. If you like sort of, if you prefer romance that goes quite far, as opposed to, you know, they just might kiss and that's it type of thing. If you like more than that, then I would say yeah, it's definitely a good game. And if you don't mind torture, because as I keep on saying, it is a game on mafias, so you will get sort of scenes where information is being trying to get taken out of someone. So you might get like a description of torture. You know, it's not graphic. It's just more. You might have like red appear on the screen, or you might sort of get a description of it. So if that really makes you uncomfortable, then I would be like, no, you better not play it. So the people who I would not recommend it to are those who, as I said, don't like torture or gore, or you know, things like that, because you might get like a little bit of like a splash of red, or you get the description, because it is a game about mafias, and you know mafias, they blackmail and stuff, so you might get scenes where torture's being described, and though it's not graphic, you don't see it happening. If you've got a very vivid imagination and that makes you uncomfortable, then it's definitely not the game for you. And also the romance is quite strong, so it doesn't end just as a kiss. It can sometimes go a bit further. You don't see, it's not like an R18 game, so it's not like you see everything that's happening, you're like, whoa, what's going on? But it does go quite far, like they might make out or something, I don't know. So if that makes you uncomfortable, which I'm aware some people do find that uncomfortable, then I wouldn't go for it either. And finally, if you are the type of person that wants a carefree game that's just happy, no real bad endings, and it's comical and all this, then I probably wouldn't buy it, because there are very few comical elements. It's very, very serious. You may not necessarily feel it's not a game that's out there to try and make you cry, don't get me wrong, but if you just want something happy, then I wouldn't go for it either. So those are the people I would not recommend it to. And I guess that's that really. Yeah. Would I personally recommend it? Yes, I would. Obviously I want lots of people to play lots of different otome games so that I can converse about it more. But this one's particularly, I would say this one's particularly recommendable because, I mean, even I managed to play it until the end, and that's quite surprising. I usually play about 3 characters and I get bored, so the fact that I was able to play it until the very end is saying something. And I think it's just the whole thing's really well made. Even the opening theme and like the graphics, they all work really well. And I think even appreciating the art of it is a good enough reason to buy it. So I personally would recommend it, unless you fit into the category of people that I earlier said I would not recommend it to. And if I were to give it a rating, I would probably give it about a 4 out of 5. The reason why it's not a 5 is because I wasn't like, as much as I really enjoyed it, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the characters, at the end I wasn't like hyper and head over heels in one of the characters like I have before, so that's the only reason why. But don't let that put you off, because that's my opinion, and for you it might be a 5 out of 5 type of game. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this video was useful. Do remember to like and subscribe if you found it helpful and are now able to think about whether to buy it or not. And hopefully I will see you in one of my Let's Play videos, because that is what mainly my channel is about. But again, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.